Alright everyone, welcome to another episode of our channel. I'm your host today, and tonight I've got a story that's going to blow you away. You're about to dive into one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had. Something so intense it left me shaking for days. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an incredible tale. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this is your first time here. It was a typical Friday night, but little did I know, it would turn out to be anything but ordinary. The sky had darkened early, casting long shadows on the streets as I pulled up outside a house in my pizza delivery area. As I got out of the car and grabbed the pie from the back seat, my phone buzzed with an urgent call. "What's going on?" I asked, already sensing something was off. "Listen carefully," the voice said through static. "A man is hiding behind the bushes at your next delivery stop. Be careful." My heart skipped a beat. A chill ran down my spine as I realized this wasn't just some prank. This was real. And it was happening to me. I arrived at the address, and there it was, a house surrounded by dense foliage where shadows seemed to move on their own accord. I took a deep breath, trying to calm myself. I had to stay focused. This guy could be waiting for any moment of weakness. As I approached the door, my eyes darted back and forth, scanning every dark corner. Just then, it hit me. There was no sound. No rustling leaves, no birds chirping, nothing. Just an eerie silence that seemed to amplify every creak of the house and every snap of twigs beneath my feet. "Hello?" I called out hesitantly, hoping against hope for some sign of life. Silence. The air felt thick with tension, like a heavy blanket pressing down on me. My hands were shaking as I knocked on the door, a loud bang that echoed in the quiet night. And then, just when my nerves were about to crack completely, the front door opened. A young woman stood there, looking surprised by the sudden intrusion, but otherwise unharmed. "Sorry," she said with a smile. "I didn't expect anyone tonight." She stepped aside and I hurried in, placing the pizza on the counter. But something wasn't right. There was no way this could have been about me. There had to be more to it. "I need to ask you something," I blurted out as she handed over her money. "There's a guy hiding outside your bushes. Did you know?" Her face paled instantly, and for a moment, all the color drained from her eyes. She took a deep breath, then another one, before nodding slowly. "Yes," she whispered. "It's my ex-boyfriend." My stomach dropped like a stone. This wasn't just some random threat, it was something far more sinister. "Are you okay?" I asked desperately, trying to keep the fear from my voice. She looked at me with such raw terror in her eyes that it made my own heart ache. She nodded again but didn't speak. "I need to call the police," I said firmly. "You should too." I pulled out my phone and dialed 911, trying to keep my voice steady as I explained the situation. The dispatcher's voice was calm, professional, but there was a sense of urgency in her words that made me even more uneasy. "Stay with her," she instructed. "We're sending units right away." I hung up and turned back to the woman, who had gone pale but seemed strangely composed now. She knew exactly what needed to be done. She'd been through this before. I didn't need to ask if she wanted me to stay. We both understood that this was far from over. We waited in silence for a few minutes, each moment stretching out like an eternity. Then, the sound of sirens pierced the air, growing louder with every second. My heart hammered against my chest as police cars pulled up outside the house. Officers rushed into the building and began their investigation while I explained everything to them again. The woman, still shaken but brave, gave her own statement about what had been happening. It turned out this wasn't just a one-time incident. Her ex-boyfriend had been stalking her for weeks, harassing her day and night, until she finally found the strength to fight back. As we waited for everything to be processed, I couldn't help but think, what if I hadn't answered that call? What if I'd ignored my gut instinct? That terrifying night changed me. It made me realize how fragile life can be and how important it is to always listen to your instincts, even when they tell you something scary. Eventually, the police were satisfied with their investigation. They thanked us both for our cooperation before escorting the woman to safety. As I drove away from her house that night, a weight lifted off my shoulders. But at the same time, there was an undeniable sense of responsibility. knowing that if anyone else found themselves in such a situation, they could rely on me. And that's it for tonight, folks. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to leave a like and comment below. Share your own stories about times when you faced unexpected challenges and came out stronger on the other side. Until next time, stay safe, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me and sharing in such an intense moment of our lives. If you have any thoughts or stories to share, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got plenty more incredible stories coming your way soon. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Thanks for watching. See you next week. End of episode. Stay tuned for more thrilling episodes where we explore real-life adventures, challenges, and triumphs. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this is your first visit, and leave a comment telling us what kind of stories inspire you most. Until then, stay safe out there. Cheers! End of episode.